Mhm. It is Monday, November 13th, and it is day 106 of my 90-day challenge to go deep into the rabbit hole of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, and all the other delightful cryptocurrencies. And I don't know where you've been all weekend, but we've had a lot of news, and today I'd like to focus on what's not in the news as much and see if there are some opportunities for us little guys to strike it rich. Start the music. I never know like how to start these things, and so I just kind of start opening my mouth and stuff comes out, and it is early in the morning. This is the Morning Cryptos. As I've said before, this is something I do anyway. I get up, I meditate, and then I get up, and I make my coffee, start the fire in the wood stove, and I come out here and I go like, I wonder what happened. And so a lot of stuff has happened over the weekend, and I'll cover all that. But I just wanted to talk about Ethereum really quickly because I think it is in a really interesting spot here. And I want to just draw a line. If I can draw a line, let's try the drawing line thing all the way over here. Let me make it longer. Are you guys laughing at me? I hear some. Okay. My computer has been. Oh, stop. Okay. Step it back. Step back from the computer. Jesus. Okay, line. Let's just move you. If I can't make you longer, I'll just move you. Okay. So we have a line. And by the way, people, it's people like me who are idiots with computers that are going to make or break the whole crypto world. So you can laugh, all you techie guys. I love you. Thank you for the gift you've given humanity. And I'm going to make this a little bigger if I can. So Ethereum has essentially, with this anomaly and this anomaly, been trading in a sideways channel. And every time it's come to 300 or below, I've just bought a little, right? And I'm not saying this is not investment advice. Obviously, I got to say this all the time. Disclaimer. However, if you missed the huge pump on BitcoinCash, which we'll talk about, if you missed any other pump, this is a situation that's being set up. And a lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes with Ethereum. They have been improving things. They actually had a hard fork where they upgraded so significantly, and then I think that was called Byzantium, and then they have another one coming up right after the new year, which is pretty damn close at this point since we're in November. So I think there's going to be a move with Ethereum. I really think, it's the second largest crypto. At least it was until BitcoinCash, for a very short period of time, displaced it in market capitalization, or market cap as the cool kids here in the space call it, market cap. So I just want to bring your attention to Ethereum because it's probably not been on Ethereum. It's probably been on Bitcoin and BitcoinCash and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin ABC and Roger Ver and Charlie Lee and all these different people, right? So just pay attention, and if you are a trader, you're probably already tracking this, but if you're an investor, you might want to pick some up, particularly if it comes back today anywhere towards the lower half of this channel. Anything below 300, anything close to 300 or below 300, for me, and again, this is just for me, is a buy signal. So I don't have a ton of money. I'm literally starting pretty much from scratch. I started with $20 back in February and just bought $20 a day, forcing myself to save money because I've never been able to do it in the past. And this is my great experiment, my great personal challenge. And I officially launched it on July 31st, a 90-day challenge, but it's really been longer than that, and it's going to keep going longer. And my next challenge is to keep it growing and to keep delivering the kind of content to you guys that's helpful and to engage in conversation with you guys. So check out Ethereum, do some research on it, Google it. There's a lot going on. In fact, I Googled it the other day. I might hit refresh. So one of the headlines is that BitcoinCash dethroned Ethereum as the second largest currency during the wild night of trading. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ethereum Classic seems to be doing something, but I don't trust it. I'm not interested in that project other than for news purposes and what's going on there. Ethereum remains in range. That's good news, because when it's in range, then you have time to get in and there's less attention. And for me, I'm not so much trying to catch massive drops, but a sideways range shows that there's a ton of support. Let's get back here. There's a ton of support here. It's only dipped below this whole thing of support once since August, right? And it does a lot. It has so much value that for me, I'm like, why is it so low, right? What is it that I don't know that other people know? Or what is it that other people don't know or not paying attention to that I know? So just kind of play with that a little bit. Let's look at the charts just after I just checked the Bitcoin news. Bitcoin rival doubles price in 4 days as Bitcoin price slumps. And I got news for you. That was put up 13 hours ago. Bitcoin price hasn't slumped. If you get to know Bitcoin, you know that it has wild swings. And it went down, but it came right back up. It's like a beach ball that you're pushing down in the water. It keeps coming up. It's a little engine that could, except it's not so little. Flimsy floor, Bitcoin chart suggests price decline in play. And we've been expecting a pullback. We've been expecting a consolidation. We've been expecting, a correction, as we call it. And then this article is about counting the cost of Bitcoin's big three drops. Now, here's the deal. When the headlines start talking about it falling, right, that's a buy signal. If you're going to play fundamentals, that's a buy signal. It doesn't mean you're going to get in immediately, but it means you're going to start looking to see what's going on. And if you look at Bitcoin, nope, wrong one. There we go. That's BitcoinCash. We'll get to that in a second. It came all the way down to its support. Boom. Right? And I had been calling this channel right here the possible pullback zone, right? So it pulled back and it popped up. Let's look at some other pullback zones. We had this one where it went down pretty significantly, and then we had another boost up. This, and again, let's see if I can draw a line. This area here is something that I'm not saying it's going to repeat exactly, but we might be at this little spot here, right? And to me, that could be time to start buying Bitcoin, okay? Okay, stop. Jeez. People. It's like, all right, calm down, breathe, do my breathing. All is peace, all is well, all is peace, I'm just kidding. Need more coffee. All right, so now, for those of you who have not heard, and this is probably like one of you, BitcoinCash had a huge pump over the weekend. Was it Friday night? Yeah, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. I can't remember. It was Saturday night, I think. It just went crazy. It went like ballistic. It went parabolic. and then it started dropping, and it's come back to a somewhat more sensible range. But there's a lot of political stuff going on. The Bitcoin Cash people are openly saying they want to replace Bitcoin because of its transaction times and transaction fees. And pretty much everybody's in agreement that the transaction times of Bitcoin really suck and they really detract. And what Bitcoin Cash is doing is it's kind of taking hashing power, the computing power from Bitcoin, and kind of co-opting it. Because the Bitcoin miners, they are not ideologically centered. They're money centered. They just, where can I make the most money? Oh, Bitcoin Cash, moving, boom. And so when they move their mining equipment over to Bitcoin Cash, that leaves Bitcoin, which is already a jammed network. It just leaves it high and dry. So it's a pretty good tactic if you want to kind of destroy Bitcoin, you could say, or in defense of the Bitcoin legacy or Bitcoin core team, you could say, wow, they're being attacked, right? Why not just spin off a new coin, call it something new? Well, because Bitcoin is the brand name, right? And the question is, can Bitcoin survive this? And it's kind of looking, if you look at it, like it's just business as usual for Bitcoin. It did come back, but we expected this anyway, and this whole run-up we thought pretty much was due to the pending hard fork called SegWit2x, which I'll explain another time if you don't know what that is. But SegWit2x was canceled. Then Bitcoin Cash made its move, and there's something going on. There's some big money that's trying to make stuff happen. And the bottom line is we'll see what the actual market does and how manipulatable it is. So that's where all the attention has been. And I gotta say, when the attention is other ways, it's like, and I'll say this probably till the day I die, Earl Nightingale, the father of motivational speakers, basically said, if you don't know what to do, see where the crowd's going. And then do the opposite, right? So the crowds, the focus of the world is on Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So in the meantime, I'm looking at Dash, and I've been in Dash for a while, and Dash had a really nice pump. Why did Dash have a pump? And I went to Dash's Twitter, and so one of the things they're saying here, I mean, they've been improving their digital currency. They actually instituted SegWit2x, so their block sizes are larger in anticipation of when they need it, which is cool. And they're bringing in something they're calling evolution, and they're just making massive changes to it that are bringing it up to date and bring up its scalability. They've lowered the transaction costs. They've lowered the transaction time, so they've increased the speed. So Dash is looking real good, but again, now is not the time to buy, right? The time to buy is when it looks like crap. But that's so hard for definitely the public, definitely the mainstream media. They don't think like that. But once you begin to trade a little bit, once you begin to invest a little bit and watch these markets, it's just like shopping, people. And you guys are good at that. If something's on sale, well, I'll pick up two, right? That's the human mindset, but we get distracted with these rapid rises, and we have this thing called FOMO, fear of missing out, and we want to get in because we don't want to miss it. But the bottom line is there will always be another opportunity, and that's what I'm telling myself because I missed a lot of that. But this one I got because I've been holding Dash since July. And I got Dash back in July here at this. See these double tops? That's the thing to look for. Double tops, rising bottoms. And every day on the Morning Cryptos, I'm kind of searching for double tops or some kind of a channel and rising bottoms. Whoa. Right? And over here, and I've just been holding it, and then it pumped, and then we had the China ICO, and then the Jamie Dimon thing, and I've just been hanging on. It kind of came back to where I bought it, right? And then we had this weird arch thing, and then it started just with the alts just kind of just all grinding down. But the thing is, there was support. Even though it was going down, it wasn't dropping like a rock. You know what I mean? There was support. So that's what I'm always looking for, is some kind of support that makes some kind of sense. You know, and it might not be perfectly drawn. Let's see if I can make the line horizontal. Oh, stop. Jeez. I think it's my mouse. So anyway, so that's what I'm looking for. So, okay, so Dash right now is not the moment to get it. Now's the moment to hang on. Now, another thing happened with Dash, another learning thing for me, is yesterday when it was up to 480, I was like, man, I could swap out of it and I could take my profits from my Dash and put it into Litecoin, which is right now, let's look at Litecoin, still in a sideways channel, and we have a double top, right? So I think Litecoin's getting ready to make a move. But to get back to Dash, I went to my Exodus wallet to swap out my Dash, and they're hooked in with the Shapeshift exchange, and the message was, you know, Dash is temporarily unavailable to exchange. So that kind of pissed me off, you know, and I love my Exodus wallet. I love Shapeshift, but I think partly what I'm going to start thinking about, and let me know what you guys think or what you guys are doing, is I'm going to take half of my Dash and move it to Bittrex so that when there's a move, like I can put in a sell order, like for example, when it goes to 500, yeah, I wouldn't mind selling some, right? And taking some profits and parking it into Litecoin. Then when it comes back, I'll buy it back, right? Or then when something else comes down, I'll buy it back. I need to have some kind of a slush fund, right? So that when there's an opportunity, boom, I can grab it, right? But I also want to protect, you know, my positions, because I want to hold long term for some of these, but I also want to take some profit. So that's kind of where I'm playing around with. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And let's just kind of grind through some of these. EOS, by the way, I'm liking EOS, and it's early in their project. This is still an Ethereum token. They have not launched their main net yet. But this to me looks like a buy signal, okay? And again, you make your own decision. What? My computer is so twitchy today. I had to like reboot it twice just to even get this thing to work. So let's see if I can. All right. So we have a top that is pretty horizontal, right? And we have rising bottoms. And EOS has a really good team, and I would think, and they're ahead of schedule. They're cranking. They've got a ton of capital. And so I think this is a buy signal for EOS. I have some. I might look into getting some more. All right. So that's something to watch. And again, you want to pay attention, right, when everybody else is looking elsewhere. And I think EOS certainly is going to, at some point, make a run for 4.04. But see, when these things open, there's often a pump and then there's a dump. And there's right now come back to the support of its original thingamajiggy. Right? So we have some above the line, some below the line. And to me, if we're just below the line and the project is progressing, there may be some news that if you got in now, boom, you could be in the money and the downside is not too big, right? And there's support down here as well. So not a bad time to consider some EOS, all right? Let's go back to Ethereum. And I think Ethereum is going to crank. I think this is a good time to get in, a good position to get in. Anytime it comes back to 300 or below, I'm just going to keep, selling things in my house to try to get some. And the thing is, always, the time to do it is before it pumps. So IOTA, Again, newer project, and there's a lot that they have done that is technically cool. And they're at a double top here, so this could boost as well. And if it's time for the alts have been quiet for a long time. This may be time for the alts to move, and you might be looking at this as a little bit of what they call a bullish flag. But again, the testing is here, and so that's IOTA. Now Litecoin is just, I adore Litecoin because it's a little bit more predictable, and this to me is where I'm going to be putting my profits. So it's continuing to go up, but it's not as volatile as Bitcoin. So if I'm taking profits from someplace, I'm going to either put it into Ethereum or into Litecoin to kind of park it until I know what to do next, right? And the neat thing about that is Litecoin seems to be ready to make a boost. So if I take profits from someplace else where it's gone up, then I put it into Litecoin, and then Litecoin goes up, then I have more to spend on other projects. So that's really what I'm kind of doing. They call it laddering. So that's what I'm playing with. Neo. And again, Neo is considered to be the Chinese Ethereum, from what I gather. And keeping an eye on it. It does have higher bottoms, but I'm not quite sure what it's doing. So if I'm not sure, I don't, right? And there's enough opportunities in the top 10 or top 15 cryptos so that you can make money if you can discipline yourself and have some kind of a plan or a strategy that you consistently do. All right, so Omise Go, good project. It seems to be getting ready to do something to move, and we have some higher bottoms here. I don't know if this is a good time to get in or not, but I'm keeping an eye on it, right? It's not exactly a sideways channel, but there seems to be some support here. So we'll see. Keeping an eye on it. I think I have some, actually. Quantum. Oh, here's a quantum against the US dollar. This is a newish chart. It's on Bitfinex. I've been using a different chart, but I don't think in Bitcoin, so I wanted a US dollar chart, and at least this one's starting to get going here. And I think quantum is a good spot to get in here because it's kind of right in the middle of its range. And if you think of quantum according to this chart and ignore the extreme wick. I hope I'm entertaining you. Look, I'm clicking. Like, stop. Jeez. Stop. Snap. You ever have a day, when you're like in computer hell? That used to freak me out. Okay. So I'm going to click it over here and then move it. There's more than one way to confuse a cat. There's something over there. Oh, it won't let me go past the beginning of the chart. Okay, fine. So I would say if you're looking at this chart, the one-day chart, we're in a sideways channel with quantum. And we're kind of in the middle of that channel. So it might be a very good time to get yourself some more quantum. Anything 10-ish, anything below 10 or in the $10 range, if it comes back down and touches here, buy. That to me, if it comes down here, boom, we're going to buy. What does that do? Good, it gets rid of it. And then it comes back. Okay, fine, get back up here. All right, so quantum, and I got me some quantum. I still have not set up my Raspberry Pi. I'm going to do that. I almost did it over the weekend, but just the BitcoinCash thing just went crazy, and I made like 500 videos, and it was crazy. All right, so let's look at Monero. What the hell is going on with Monero, man? Monero seems to be moving. And again, not a time to buy this. The time to buy it was in this sideways channel, and it's been in this sideways channel for a while. So people, I don't know what coins you're into, but go through the charts. Go through as many of these coins as you can find, and Coinigy is a good place to go. I actually have an affiliate code for Coinigy, but I don't have it underneath the thing, so whatever. But check out Coinigy. You can use it for free for a month. And I don't get paid to say that because I don't have my affiliate link up. Maybe I'll put it down below, but that's not really why I'm doing this. The thing is, just see how the sideways channel thing works. So anytime there's something where there's nothing happening, there is something happening. And that's the time to get into position. Did I make my point clear? I think I did today. I think you guys got the point. And that's it. That's all I'm going to look at today. I'm stunned at the crazy stuff that's been going on with Bitcoin and BitcoinCash. But you know what? I think that's good. Because right now, I think Dash is poised to be a currency that's actually usable. You know, I don't know how censorship resistant it is. I don't know how decentralized it is. But at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, what does the new user to the crypto world want? They don't care about the politics. They only care about them. They care about, can I use this? Is there some place I can use it? Is this going to increase in value, right? And is this a good idea, right? And we want to, I think a lot of us have been too attached to the idea that somehow we're going to use these cryptocurrencies everywhere to buy a cup of coffee, and we're not there yet. And that's okay. I think we will be there at some point when 50 to 75% of the world's population owns Bitcoin or some other kinds of cryptos, and people go up and go, do you take Dash? Do you take Dash? You know, and people are asking merchants, do you take Dash? Do you take Dash? It might happen, right? And it probably will happen. And it may happen sooner than we think, or it may happen later than we think. But in the meantime, the scalability wars are happening, and while Bitcoin and BitcoinCash are duking it out and dividing their energies and fighting against each other, some of these other cryptos are actually better. The world doesn't know they're better. The world hasn't heard of them yet. But Dash is starting, they're taking some of their mining allocation and they're putting it into advertising. They're paying their developers. It's not some other company that's paying the developers to push forward that company's agenda. You know what I mean? And they're human. We're all human, so there's shenanigans everywhere in the human experience. But my money at this point, I'm still watching Bitcoin. I haven't gotten back in. I have a little bit of it, and it's held its value over the weekend. I have like $500 of it, and it's still worth $500 today after all the weekend shenanigans. So that's a good sign. Andreas Antonopoulos has talked about how the attacks on Bitcoin and Ethereum from hackers or political groups or governments or whatever ultimately will serve to make this stuff stronger. So those are my thoughts for this morning, Monday, November 13th. This is day 106 of my 90-day challenge. We are starting week 16, and I do put these in playlists, so if you do want to go back and see what I've been talking about, you can. I'm also doing a new project called the Better Man Project, and there will be a new video for that almost every day as well. And I'm continuing to work on my other project called the Life and Song Project, where I am recording and preserving and sharing my 40 years of compulsive singer-songwriter stuff with you guys. If you like music, you might want to check that out. And if you like what I do, please subscribe, hit that bell thing, and give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. And also, I want to know from you guys, are you an introvert or an extrovert? I have a theory that a lot of us here in this space are introverts, and This is kind of like the introvert's revenge. There's a lot of things that extroverts do much better at, and a lot of that is making money, selling, doing things in groups, and the introvert is often behind the scenes or looking at a computer screen. And the cool thing is there's opportunities for those of us who tend to be a little bit more solitudinous, a little bit more reflective. And if you're like that, there's a lot of stuff that I could probably help you out with. And so that's kind of what I'm working on with the Better Man Project. And if you're not a man, please understand that I love women. And the Better Man Project is really something I'm doing for women, because there's a lot of awesome men who don't quite understand how women are wired. And if I can teach those guys how women are wired, then you ladies have more opportunities to have a truly awesome man by your side at some point in your life. So that's what I'm working on. I love you guys. Appreciate you so much. And let's see what happens this week in the land of crypto and the Bitcoin galaxy of greed and grooviness. So over and out. Start the music. See you next time.